Hello and welcome to At the Tavern, episode 26.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Tyler.
We're your lovely hosts for the evening.
As always, as you may have noticed, our theme this evening is Pirates because of the baseball all-star game and the 4 Pirates that made it.
Which happens to be in the Nasty Natty tonight at the Great American Ballpark.
Which is, as you may or may not know, Patrick's favorite place on the planet.
It is not. Don't spread these lies.
It's a joke.
I know.
So with us tonight, we have Chris from Smart Green Heroes. So say hello, Chris.
Smart Game Systems.
Smart Game Systems.
Avast, mateys. Figured I'd go with the pirate theme, yeah.
Good enough.
Good man. Good man.
Yeah. So keep rolling, man. What we got? We got a lot of really cool stuff we can't talk about right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's like so much
pretty much
we are not allowed to talk
sum
about
up
right now.
what Space Tavern Games has been doing. We've been in Area 51 is what I can compare us to right now.
Yeah, it's about, we have, some heavy hitting stuff coming down the line.
So,
aside from that, we're still publishing our updates because we wrote them, everybody, like in one day to be sent out at a scheduled time so people don't realize what we're doing. And don't forget to always drink your Red Bull.
Red Bull powers our updates.
Red Bull is my blood.
It give you wings.
I reach be giving you wings.
There you go.
The Valkyries come down.
All right.
That's a hint, everybody.
So they're not getting feedback. Anyway, so let's jump into what Smart Green Systems has been doing. Chris, lay it on us, man.
Most of what we've been doing lately is working with contract stuff. I believe. Do we talk about who we're working with most recently last time?
You might have. You were talking about doing something with a group in Africa. I think was the last.
We've done that. We've done that a while back. I'm not entirely sure if we can talk about what we're doing now either. But we've been mostly working on some contracts for a couple of companies. But as far as like Smart Green Heroes and Council of Gaia, which is a working title, are basically commercial available board games. Right now we're kind of just gearing up to take those to Gen Con in a couple of weeks. So we're pretty excited about that.
Right on, man. Right on. We actually may have a big announcement at Gen Con through the IGA, so keep your...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
I don't think we can be there because we're broken old.
And busy.
But maybe not this year, Gen Con. Maybe next year.
We'll have to find out. But yeah, I'll look for the. I'm definitely going to stop by and say hey to the IGA guys because we're with them too.
Yeah.
It's one of us.
Stuff because we'll have our stuff, but
our super secret, top secret stuff will most likely be at Gen Con next year.
Oh, very cool.
So we just can't. I really want to talk about it so bad. We can't
talk about it in generalizations.
Okay, so there's this game.
It's a board game.
Board game, and it's a big adventure board game.
Specific here.
Based on a world in which we're not allowed to speak.
It's Mage Night, isn't it? You're making Mage Night again.
I would, but
no, afraid not. But I like to think it's cooler, actually. Honestly,
I like to think it's just pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
mainly because we're making it. I mean,
that and
you might be biased.
But
you might be a little biased
from what's been designed and worked on so far.
That I've designed.
Pat has been taking the lead on this design. I guess we can talk about who's doing what. I guess Pat's got the design on the lead on the design.
I'm the game in charge of the game mechanic.
I've become a project manager, I guess would be my title at this point. Mainly because I work so damn much.
Lazy schnoz.
That's what it is. Project manager is like the guy who does all the stuff nobody wants to do.
Yeah, I just make sure everything doesn't suck. is essentially my job title right now.
A pretty good choice.
And then making sure Pat stays on track, making sure the design stays on track.
Making sure I stay on track, sir. Excuse me.
No, you usually will make sure I stay.
All right, I'll just let you guys settle this one.
Do we need to have another board meeting?
Oh, you rolling sleeves?
Oh.
All right.
I wish I had a bell.
Well, I think one of the times in the future, the IGA just needs to build a wrestling ring to bring to one of their conventions, and then me and Pat should just go at it for a couple hours.
They could raise money, like do a charity thing.
See how much punishment they can inflict on each other at the end of the match for both, like, holding on to the fucking ring.
Call it like the Tavern Brawl. And
The Tavern Brawl. That's awesome.
Tavern Brawl 13.
Because the first
start with Tavern Brawl 13.
The first 12 were unofficial Tavern Brawls.
Exactly.
I forget what I was going to ask you a question about some of the games we're working on. So you said you had another game coming out for the retail market?
That they talked about last time. But
Yeah.
please refresh Tyler's memory.
Please,
We talked about it a little bit. So, I mean, of course, there's Smart Green Heroes, which you guys did the 2 reviews of now.
Yeah.
Awesome. And there's also the working title is Council of Gaia, but we're probably going to change the title. Anyway, the concept is like everybody plays a nation in this world, and it's basically Earth. It's not actually Earth, but it's more or less Earth.
It's Earth 2.
Yeah, basically. So everybody plays a nation, and your goal is to keep your population satisfied. So you got to meet their needs by building like factories and junk that keeps them, or mostly power plants in this, but that keeps them, keeps them employed and healthy and all that. Now the catch though is that this also has a little bit of an environmental theme to it. Okay, it has a lot of an environmental theme to it, because there's a carbon track in the middle, kind of like it's similar to the one in CO2, but not exactly the same. But if you do too much with like fossil fuels and stuff, and you start adding carbon to this track, if it fills up, everybody loses. So on the one hand, there's only one player that's going to win, and that's going to be whoever's satisfies all their population, gives you points every turn for satisfied population. But if the world blows up or becomes awful because of the carbon, well, then nobody wins. And the most interesting part, it's got a hidden worker placement mechanism. So everyone puts up like a screen, and then they have a worker placement deal. So they place out workers on their little board, and they do stuff. But after that happens, the most interesting part of the game is there's a politics phase where you can put out new laws and resolutions and stuff, and the players will vote on them, and they can fundamentally change the rules of the game depending on what gets voted in and what doesn't. So that way, if somebody's like in China and building fossil fuel plants all over the place, and you feel like they're going to cause the Earth to die, then you can be like, all right, well, we're going to sanction them. We're going to make it so they can't build more or something. And people can vote that out. It's that kind of thing. There's a lot of player interaction, a lot of negotiation going on. That's pretty much the game.
Cool. It's pretty awesome, man. I'm excited to play that one. It'll be fun.
It's a good bit heavier than Smart Green Heroes. Takes a little while. But we're pretty proud of it. We like it.
Yeah, when he comes in, I feel like Pat and I sanctions are going to be, Pat has too many workers. I'm sanctioning you for having too many workers.
Slave labor.
Oh, there's all kinds of different like laws and junk you can pass. But you'll see how it turns out.
Because then if I kill the Earth, nobody wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's actually that's something we really had to think about in development, because semi-cooperative games always have that problem of, well, if somebody's losing, why don't they just tank the game and then nobody gets to win? And so we had to make it. We had to. Our decision was we thought a lot about how to make it so that other players have a way to respond to somebody that starts trying to tank the game. Because fortunately, the way our game works, you can't just tank it all in one go.
Yeah.
Like it's real hard to tank it in one turn. So if you see somebody starting to do that, there's things you can do, like the sanctions deal, that can keep them from just tanking the game for everybody.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Just so everyone knows, we actually now have an official watermark on our channel. It has our logo and two other guys, companies that have been working with us pretty closely as of late.
Nice.
Game Explained and Geek Arch. So
imagine there'll be an IGA one in the future.
There will be. I'm waiting for Holden to send me the new
Oh
logo.
yeah, that's cool.
IGA.
Yeah, Holden, get on your crap, man.
I don't care that you have
Somebody's
got
to be it.
I'll be sure to. I'll set him straight for you guys at Gen Con.
Good. Give him a drop kick for us. Hit him twice. Once to me, once back. Yeah, we're gonna get a running start from across the convention floor.
And then later, give him a cold sucker punch right in the face from me.
All right, let me make a list. Hold on.
STG sends the regards and then throw a bunch of flowers on him or something.
So, in a completely unrelated note, I noticed your back wall there, Chris, is very barren. So we should get him a poster of
us,
Morpheus. Well, that was my second one. And then there's going to be another one of us just standing on a horde of like slayed zombies or
I was thinking
goblins or
glamour
something.
shots.
Oh yeah, that's. You ever play the game on Google? What you do, and I don't know how much it really works as a game because I think you get the same results regardless. But the idea is you type in your first name, followed by so if it was me, you type in like Chris Glamour Shot, and then you find the best one that comes up in like the first row.
Oh my god!
I might have just won.
No way.
The guy dressed as a unicorn because that came up in mine too.
The guys with the unicorn. No, I'm gonna screen share this one. This is great.
All right, your
Wait.
videos. Oh wait, this might work because your video was frozen for me. But maybe I can see the screen share. I don't know that I can see it. Let's see.
Oh, I'm sharing it right now. I don't know if it's worked.
Okay.
Did it work?
Yeah, I don't see it. You guys are still just frozen.
Man,
That's weird.
Just send a link in the chat and I'll go look at it.
I think I'm winning.
I actually
as far
found
as-
Chris from Smart Game Systems right here.
Can you send me that? I want to share it.
Yes.
I may have regretted.
Giving this power to us? Yeah, I would have.
Oh, that's a pretty good one. That's
Here's
a
we've done some
solid
digging here, Chris. We found quite a bit of dirt on you with this photo here.
Oh man, let me see what it is.
I don't even know how to begin to describe this. I don't know if the shares worked that time, but
No, I still can't see it. Just stick a link in the chat.
I think anybody watching will be able to see it.
Oh, that's great.
However, you need to see it as well.
I don't know that I can see it.
Oh yeah, the screen.
Oh, the screen share works on our screen, so
Oh, I don't know who that.
Don't lie to me.
don't lie to us. We know it's you.
I've never had quite that wonderful of that glorious Bob Ross fro.
Quite that 60s look.
Not
60s,
quite. No.
60s light rock.
He does kind of have the beard action going on there.
He looks like the dude from. Oh crap! Give me a second. They did that song.
He looks like nothing more to me than a disco leprechaun.
I was thinking
Disco
Disco
Leprechaun.
Leprechaun, actually.
That's pretty fantastic.
Oh my god. Dude.
Oh, it was Steelers Wheel. The guys who did Stuck in the Middle. So, well, while we're everybody's looking at glamour shots, why don't we talk about some news that I found very interesting?
All right. Well, women's butt implants explode while doing squats at gym.
Well,
That was probably quite the sight. her, her butt literally exploded.
Or imploded. Because
Yeah,
they would explode and then her ass would implode.
that would collapse. Yeah,
that's probably gross.
that's a wonderful mental image right there.
All right, moving on.
Are you just reading the news?
He was reading the actual news. I have relevant tabletop news.
I was just perusing and it just happened to appear.
There's a tabletop miniatures game called Arena Rex that just got funded on Kickstarter not too long ago from Red Republic Games. It is essentially a gladiators miniature game, which is, according to this, it's part skirmish, part resource management, and part tactical miniatures game.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Their storage is
Kind of sounds like the minis look great. Well, at least the paint job.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And we should get in touch with them and see if they want to come on the show and talk about how awesome their minis look. They look pretty great.
Yeah, the minis are really good. Look, they're pricey though. They're real pricey.
Oh, I imagine it's probably you only need one miniature to play per game, probably.
That's probably true. So it's not as bad.
They're like us, man.
But they got this guy riding a bull, which is pretty awesome. But he's $45 for like one dude.
See, but here's the problem with our show, dude. Like,
Yeah.
people either love us when I pitch them Wayne's World of tabletop gaming, or they're like, fuck off because you're not mainstream enough.
Well, you get there.
What?
I said y'all will get there, and then I can be like I got in the ground floor
Yeah.
of the show.
Well, see, the plan is to make everyone who's been on the show season 1 like a shirt, so they can be like, I was there in the beginning, bitches.
When you guys are interviewing like Will Wheaton and all that.
Yeah, like a San Diego.
Tabletop
We're
Jesus.
leading a Comic-Con panel or something.
Yeah, you got like
Pat's over there sitting on his couch.
you got
Pat, tell us what you thought about Star Wars Episode 9.
episode 9.
It was all right.
I don't know if you've heard the joke, Chris, but the joke is that the more money STG makes, the more indifferent Pat will become about things. And by the time he gets so much money to build a cash road, he's going to be so indifferent to literally everything. There's going to be like hot strippers on him. He's just going to be...
It's okay, I guess.
It's okay. So next up is the world of Malifaux has just released a new starter set. It looks like,
Okay.
and a release schedule for
What is it?
their Gen Con. Malifaux is a tabletop skirmish game set in like a steampunk world. I think it's more. I want to talk about it a little bit because I don't know almost nothing about it.
I know 0.
And I think it's like
that's
one of those niche games that not many people play, but I feel like it's got a really strong community of people that do play it.
From what I've seen, the mechanics are pretty decent. It kind of reminded me of War Machine Hordes a little bit. I haven't actually played it, but I've seen somebody play it once. And I own one Malifaux mini that I bought for a D&D campaign.
That's pretty.
But it's a pretty solid mini. He kind of looks like Dr. Horrible a little bit.
That's one thing. I think the way that it was explained to me back in the day was you play as different families and you're trying to kill other families.
It's like Game of Thrones.
Except in steampunk. Steampunk of Thrones.
So there's probably no dicks, which
Steam
is
of
great.
Gay. Steam
That
of
I'm probably behind this game. I'm not behind Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we all know your adamant hate for Game of Thrones.
I don't quite get the hatred for game. I mean, I can see certain things that people wouldn't like about it. Also, the board games.
Wiener.
One of these days, I will sit down and give it a good, honest second try. On the first try, I just did not get into it. Just did not.
That's fair.
Probably get flayed alive by all the people on the internet who are like, "Oh my god, Game of Thrones is the greatest game ever to so
I can understand not grabbing you right away because there are 9 million characters, and 4.5 million of them are brown-haired men with beards. And at the beginning of the game, or not the beginning of the show, they're all in the same place, and you cannot tell them apart.
And
And don't like
all of them are dead.
9 million die.
More or less. But yeah, like later in the show, they all go different places, so you can be like, oh, well, this is the guy with brown hair and a beard who's at the wall. That must be Jon Snow. All right, cool. All right, this is the guy with brown hair and a beard who's, you know, on an island. I guess that's Theon Greyjoy. Okay, cool. And you can tell them apart then. But at the beginning of the show, you just unless you've read the books, and even if you've read the books, as I have,
the meeting of brown-haired bearded men.
there's a lot.
The brown-haired bearded men's club. Another interesting thing that just came out, IDW, the people who published the comics for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
I heard about
announcing what they call it, a big box adventure board game based on the license.
That sounds kind of awesome.
Not even on the show, on the license. So it could literally be anything, and I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
As long as it's almost as good or as good as the movies that came out in the 80s. The late 80s, early 90s. The first and second one, not the third one.
Oh, the third one was awful. So actually, I have a story about the movies that came out in the 80s and 90s. I was about 5 when the first one came out, or 6 maybe, but I was super into Ninja Turtles. Like, I had my phases that I went through as a kid, and the 3 big ones were Ghostbusters, like the cartoon, because I was like 5, so yeah, and then Ninja Turtles, and then X-Men. And I just had action figures all over the place. Anyway, I was super into the Ninja Turtles. And so when I heard the movie came out, I was obviously incredibly excited. And my older cousin, his name is Roy, he's probably about 4 or 5 years older than me. When he was younger, and still to this day, he's got a very like sarcastic sense of humor, likes to pick on people sometimes, but likable guy. However, he just wanted to make stuff up and like figured I'd believe anything. So I remember him telling me, he was like, they got Krang in the movie, and he's played by a big blob of Jello. And I was like, really? Oh, man. And I was kind of disappointed when there was no Krang in the movie, and he wasn't about it.
My biggest thing was I would always watch the Mighty Ducks almost every day. I'd watch at least one of the 3 movies. Nice. But when I wasn't really feeling very duck-like, I would watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge mega fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They were never my favorite thing, but those movies are just phenomenally written and phenomenally well done. And I thought I hope that this board game does the series and license, I guess, justice.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it actually because I thought it was. I heard it described as a tacticals miniatures game, and as much as I love miniatures, I generally use them for role playing and don't play a lot of minis games. So I was a little disappointed. But if it's a big box adventure game, that might actually work out for me. I might have to get that.
I'm trying to see if they have anything about the game.
Because you're it
says the game is heavily scenario driven with content coming from the comic. Each mission will take around 60 to 90 minutes and join together to create the overarching narrative where players will evolve their characters, fighting styles, gear, and other strengths as they continue on. Cameo appearances of other TMNT characters such as Casey Jones and Alopex will happen as well.
I like it.
I love Casey Jones. Casey Jones is probably one of my favorite. That scene in the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where Raph goes out for his Psy. Oh, Jose Canseco bat. Tell me, you didn't pay money for this. You ever play cricket? You got to understand what a crumpet is to understand cricket. I love that movie. I'm gonna watch that later.
But yeah, one of my great regrets in my childhood was never owning the Technodrome toy. And so this is I'm excited for this game now. I'm gonna have to get it.
It's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be pretty good. Next up, there's a new game out called Vanquisher, which is a kingdom building board game.
Interesting.
Just came out on Kickstarter. It's for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up. It has some area control, some abstract strategy, and resource management. The larger the territory you control, the higher your VPs. I don't know what that means. Oh, victory points, I guess. Player with the most VPs in the game.
Victory points in board game.
Pretty simple. Okay. The box set comes with 280 construction cubes, 40 farmer meeples, I'm not joking. The word is meeples.
Fuck is
No,
that?
that's a thing.
It's such a
Wait,
weird.
are you guys not familiar with a meeple?
Well, I mean, we probably are. We've just probably never heard them called meeples before.
Oh, okay.
Google this really
Now
quick.
you know a meeple if you saw it. It's the little like
Oh, yeah.
Arkansas guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is the official term. They're
That's the-
meeples.
I thought that was. Oh, wow, that's embarrassing. That's both embarrassing and kind of funny at the same time. Those are called meeples.
They're
okay.
called meeples.
I
And
can't,
like if you ever played like Agricola and use those are sheeples. There are some others, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that goes down in the book as the most ridiculous official name for anything.
Oh, there's more. There's more ridiculous official names for things. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
There's more numbers in here, but there's question marks in them, so I don't know what the actual numbers are. So I'm just going to say what else is included. There's army tokens, lumber tokens, stone tokens, metal tokens, coin tokens, a year tracker token, 1 die, 4 city hall cards, basic blueprint cards, auction blueprint cards, 90 bribery cards. That sounds like fun. The game board rulebook. That sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
When I look at it, the first thing I think of is Go. It looks like Go. Like the way the cubes are out on the board.
Right.
But the other thing I think of is it kind of reminds me of a game called Antiquity, I believe. I never played it, but it's an older game. I think they may have reprinted it recently. But it's kind of like it's similar to that, where you build out your kingdom and build like cities and stuff. Send out workers to go like gather stone and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll be anything like those. Ever play the Guild games on PC?
Guild Wars?
No, not Guild Wars. The game's literally called The Guild.
No, I haven't.
No.
It's a resource. It's essentially a kingdom building game that's for PC. It's pretty good. Really, really intensive game as far as learning to play and strategy and stuff. But overall, I wonder if it'll be anything like that. It could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean the game for like Vanquisher there for me. Just for obviously, I've just glanced at the Kickstarter. To me, it's kind of the jury's out because I need to watch a gameplay video to tell if I'd like it. But it's definitely a good concept. Like,
And it looks great too.
yeah, like me and my friend back before I did this for a living, would just like we made several attempts at designing something along that scale, like a kind of like an RTS type board game where you make your units and you build bases and mines and whatever, but we never got it to work. We ended up making a couple of playable copies at one point, but we never actually got it to work.
Those fucking jerk offs.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, I think it's a really good concept though, and hopefully it'll pan out for them. Hopefully they did it right.
No, I was off in Pat World.
I guess I'll save this one for last. There's a new Hordes book out.
Yeah, that's
Coming out.
that's what I was reading about. And
Oh, nice.
I was doing the whole.
Devastation. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
actually,
it looks like there's some new minis out for Hordes. That's an extreme feral warp wolf. And I don't lie. Literally extreme feral warp wolf.
Yeah.
are you sure this isn't from like it's like a Saturday morning cartoon from the late '90s?
Well, I really hope that somebody mods it so that it's like he's wearing like an X Games helmet and a skateboard.
He's got like rollerblades on or something. Yeah.
Well, he's in the right pose. He's like in like this upper pose like this, and so you could probably figure out how to
Definitely put rollerblades on him for sure.
Mod it. That would be awesome.
I've actually just found in my desk drawer a card from one of me and my buddy's attempts to make this back in like 2001 or something. But here you go.
Ooh, that looks like
This is
fun.
great. Taped on the Decipher Star Wars card.
Yeah. And the last bit of news.
Wait.
Wait. What are we waiting for?
Fucking Mr. Jackson must be on his cash throne thinking, Christmas is coming up, so I gotta have a Christmas expansion, which is just retarded. I don't need any more Munchkin in my life.
You speak for yourself, man. I will take all of the Munchkin
I do
expansions.
not have any Munchkin in my life.
Chainsaw Cop Dad,
I don't think I need any either.
whatever it
Axe
is,
Cup, well, except Axe Cup.
whatever.
But if you enjoy Munchkin, then the Christmas expansion seems like it's probably for you.
I enjoy it. I'm just like, more?
Yeah. No, I know you feel like I kind of feel bad even comparing them, but like I thought that Dominion was done making expansions because that was a game where when it came out I was like, you know what? I think I will just get all the expansions for this. It'd be cool to have all of them. And I thought that they were done with Dark Ages, and they were like, yeah, we're done. We're done making expansions. They're like, no, we're gonna make another one. So now I had to go buy Adventures, which I haven't played yet, but it actually looks really good. So I can't really complain too much. But now I'm like, well, I'm not done, I guess. So I'm gonna have to brace myself to buy more Dominion.
That's just what I wanted to do. Everything's just so great. So great.
Netrunner's collection's getting out of hand too.
And the last bit of news I found in honor of the All-Star Game, there's a new baseball simulation tabletop game up on Kickstarter called Roll Saga Baseball. The little blurb about it. The game puts you in the seat of owner and manager for your own professional baseball team. Pick your rosters and lineups and make decisions about coaching staff all before you even hit the field. There are varying levels of complexity depending on how in-depth you want to take your gaming experience. When game time comes, use the individual player stats augmented by the umpires and other on-field situations to go play-by-play through the game. Fucking stop making noises. 50% funded. Really? You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, go.
That's a game that I want to get and I want to review and I want to do a season.
Nice.
That'd be fun.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All 160 games.
Oh, but that much.
That's a season.
Well, yeah.
I was good thing baseball was one of the most board gameable sports.
See, you'd think baseball would be the most board gameable sport, but then you look at a stat spread for one single player, and it's like a whole page. And it's like, how do I make this a game?
You just choose the most pertinent stats to the mechanic.
Or all the stats are important, like your on base percentage, your slugging percentage, your at bats for your
It
batting
depends
average,
on the
your
mechanic.
hits, your RBIs, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
it really does. They're all important, but some of them are more important than others. You could think about how D&D does their skills. They have a giant list of skills. They have 6 stats. You use wisdom for perception, survival, insight, all that stuff. That's probably what I'd do. Is I'd condense all the stats into 3 or 4 skills.
Yeah. And focus.
And then and go off that. You could do it, but I mean the fact that it's not so real time. Soccer would be really hard because everybody's moving all the time.
So would football. Football would be pretty hard too.
Yeah, well, I mean, Blood Bowl does it. Well, it's really rugby more than football, I guess. But
What if Calvin Ball?
Calvin Ball.
Calvin Hobbs.
That would be awesome.
That would
We
be.
should start a Calvin Ball.
Well, the only
game.
problem with making a Calvin Ball game is
There's
that
no such thing as that.
well, all the rules are different every time you play. That's the point of Calvin Ball.
Yeah, exactly. That's why
You'd have to make the game work with that, and that'd be hard.
you could just
It'd be fun, though.
cards that would determine the rules for that round. See, I'm on to something. That's our I'm press releasing that this week.
I kind of hate to burst your bubble, but they already made that. It's called Flux.
Oh, yeah, there's Flux.
Yeah. However, if I just rip that game, throw Calvin Ball on it, imagine all the money I'm gonna have.
Until Bill Watterson sues you for Calvin Ball.
I'll be like, "Here's your check, sir."
You mysterious man who's appeared suddenly on my doorstep.
Hi, Bill.
I don't even know if I would even notice it was him on my doorstep. I'd probably.
He'd be like, "You don't owe me money." I'd be like, "Yeah."
I'd be like, "Yeah, who are you?"
I'd be like, "Fuck off," and slam the door.
He'd be like, "I'm Bill Watterson," and then I'd subsequently pass out and probably crap myself.
Yeah, he's probably not super litigious, but even still, I don't know that I could recommend.
He's super against licensing. I know that. There's a documentary on Netflix called Dear Mr. Watterson, and he's super against licensing these characters, which I don't.
Yeah, well, then good luck making Calvin Ball. Although I guess it doesn't actually use his characters.
Oh, shots fired, you
What?
dick!
What?
Oh, shots fired.
Wait, who fired shots? Who's firing shots?
I'm confused too.
Matt Holden is firing shots.
Matt Holden is firing
Oh, what
shots.
did Matt Holden do?
Holden.
All the baseball games in the world wouldn't make the Pirates any good.
Oh.
Mm,
Oh.
it's cold.
Matt, my buddy. Chris, I need you to swing by
We need to
his
have.
table at Gen Con and
All right.
send him some love.
I'm throwing it down right now.
See, I would
Next
make a
summer.
Game of Thrones reference there, but you wouldn't get it. So,
Next summer, I'm throwing it down right now. Giant wiffle ball game. STG versus Matt Holden and whoever the hell you can find to play for you.
Yep.
And we're gonna kick your ass. Kick
this,
your ass. We're gonna use junk balls, which are awesome, by the way,
Yeah.
because you can throw curves and knuckles and stuff. And
I'm pitching.
Pat's gonna pitch. I'm gonna play somewhere and hit home runs off of you all day, Holden. Kind of like Andrew McCutcheon, former NL MVP. I can't fade back any farther. It's been thrown down. The gauntlet has been thrown.
The gauntlet.
The
Gen Con 2016.
wearing gauntlet has been thrown. I'm
The
gonna
leather gauntlet has been oiled and left overnight under your pillow with a ball in it and been thrown.
and pine tar all over it.
That
And
too.
don't think for a second there, Mr. Holden, that I'm not going to wear all the ridiculous protection gear that they do in actual games.
Yeah,
I will wear the
gonna show
elbow
up-
guard.
We're gonna show up with
Elbow guard, ankle
professional
guard,
jerseys,
professional jerseys, chrome
matching
batting
cleats,
helmets.
matching gloves.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Gen Con 2016, wiffle ball
With the wiffle ball stick.
versus Matt
What?
Holden and the Indie Game Alliance.
I think we should consider actually having an indie game and getting a bunch of cosplayers to join our teams, because that would be really cool.
They have
To
to
have
be
like
hot.
Samus on first.
They have to be hot.
That would be pretty fantastic.
It's like my
Get a
only-
He-Man guy to be our slugger. He'll bet clean up. Like an actual
He
He-Man.
totally sucks.
He can't even swing a bat.
It's like, well, I'm wearing this big like muscle suit. I can't really move.
You might need to go back to Grayskull. You apparently do not have the power.
No, the
He-Man-
question of where you will actually play this wiffle ball game is a valid one, but I won't rain on your parade there.
Oh, it's going down.
Yeah, Chris, you want to play against us too?
No, we want Chris on our team.
I'm not sure
Chris.
you do.
Chris, you can be the catcher.
I'm not sure you do, but we'll see what we can do. 2016 is a long way away.
Oh man, Matt Holden responds. I have 252 members of hashtag Team IGA, not counting you guys. Sure, I can find someone to be a designated hitter.
Hold on.
Yeah, someone in there must be good at baseball.
Not to toot our own horns, but we're pretty good.
Pretty mildly decent. Just to throw around adjectives. Pretty mildly decent.
It's on. Even if we have to come down to Florida.
Oh, this is so on. This is so on. We'll have a big barbecue. It'll be just like,
I'll have a beer and a bat in one hand.
I'll bat with a cigar.
You'll come down to Florida and you'll be like just you guys and Matt.
We're just beating on Matt with wiffle ball bats. That's what this has come down to.
That would be the ball game. Is like you guys versus
Space
Matt.
Tavern Pirates versus IGA Minions.
Yes! Did you see
I
that?
like
tweet that I threw? I replied to him
Oh,
saying,
nice. Bones.
we get dibs on our friend Ben Dover. Ben Dover Steers. Stephen Amell, as we all know from his batting practice with the Toronto Blue Jays, is quite the slugger. And Geek Arch.
Dude, that would be so fucking metal if Stephen Amell all of a sudden shows up.
No, and he does it in his arrow gear, too.
And then Barry Allen rolls in too.
It's like, well, I saw your show on YouTube and I wanted to play your game, you guys.
I saw this one time you referenced me in a tweet, and I've been waiting for this wiffle ball game since then.
Even though we're like mid-film right now, in Toronto. I've come all the way down here.
All right, you guys have to tweet at those people that you just mentioned.
Oh, I did.
Oh, you did? Nice. I'm already one step ahead of me here.
Oh. My Twitter just exploded.
Who else? Who else have we had on here in Florida?
I love how this has just turned into us trash talking Holden.
I'm just gonna
our Florida
let you guys go.
No.
I think we need to have Chris come on and be our manager.
Yeah, Chris, you can be the manager. However, if you get ejected, you need to steal first base and walk off the field.
And second
with it.
base.
Like literally steal the base.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing apparently that managers do when they're really pissed off at the umps. They steal the bases.
Like Matt, don't drag me in.
Oh, weenies. I think I spelled right.
I'm just like
the Space Tavern Space Vikings versus the Indie Game Alliance Weenies.
Y'all smell that? Because that smells like something burning, like a bridge or something like that.
I wouldn't say burning, just more like being slowly deconstructed into one of those rickety things you see out of like a really crappy adventure movie.
The one with the one rope that always breaks.
Yep.
It either always breaks or the bad guy shows up and takes like 10 minutes to saw through it with the saw that they conveniently have.
This has been a good time.
And hold on, let's talk strategy here for next year. Chris, as our manager, what beer will you be bringing for us to drink?
What kind of beer do you like?
Lagers and nothing light.
I'll drink a Pilsner.
Hmm.
You spelled
I
winners
have to
wrong.
think on it. There's a lot of good stuff around here. Because I tend to go more with the darker stuff, so I know that a little better. But I bet I could dig up something solid from like.
Ooh, we could settle on like a Guinness Black Lager.
Oh, that's good.
That's some good stuff.
I mean, because going to I don't go directly through Asheville on the way to Gen Con, but it's not that far out of the way. They've got a ton of good stuff there.
Actually, I'd be okay if you just brought nothing but whiskey.
Well, I feel like beer would make us be able to play.
One of our
Whiskey would just make you
does
worthless.
go through.
Make me violent.
We could end up going through Kentucky to get there, so that's possible.
The Jim Beam plant on your way?
I actually did go to the Maker's Mark distillery recently. A friend of mine had a bachelor party. It was like a destination bachelor party in Louisville, so we could do the Bourbon Trail. So it was
Louisville's
actually
about an hour from where I grew up in
Nice.
Kentucky. But I hate Maker's Mark.
I don't
Jim
know.
Beam is so much better.
Maker's Mark.
Who's so much better? Did you say Jim Beam's so much better?
Say what?
Did you say Jim Beam is so much better?
I enjoy it so much better personally.
I don't know. I mean, I like it fine. I personally like Maker's Mark. Good.
What do you say now?
He goes, Jacob runs the Space Tavern HQ. You guys are going down. BRB, buying steroids and pine tar. Touche, Holden. Touche. Oh, that's great.
Well done.
I'll come out covered in pine tar.
That was.
Pat, you need to let go of the bat.
I can't let go.
Matt will show
First
up in
base.
2016. He's got a whole year, so he'll show up in 2016 and just be like, boom!
Yeah, he's gonna go like on a weight training regimen, and I'm gonna just continue to eat McDonald's every other day. We'll show up in reverse. Like he'll be huge and jacked, and I'll just be like beer gut.
Come rolling out on a little
Little scooter.
He'll
takes
have
up
like
the
a
whole
montage going. You're like, and he'll be like, and you'll be like,
Yeah, that's exactly how it's gonna go. Yeah.
I like it.
John Testa, he should play for us.
We need to find some.
I'm doing some massive recruiting right now.
This is gonna happen. This has to happen. I feel like we need to tell Gen Con we need to have a giant wiffle ball game at Gen Con.
You probably want to set that up with them a good time in advance.
I'm talking about for next year, which is why we do it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so I think we need a bombshell to end this on. Otherwise, it's just going to be another half an hour of us yelling at Holden.
And him tweeting us.
It's already been a half an hour of y'all and Holden. I guess I'm here.
Well, Chris, we'll definitely have to have you on again.
No, it was fun. But I mean, you should. But it was fun. Yeah, hopefully,
It's a corona
you guys can get on here pretty soon too.
Hold on. Hold the fuck on.
What did you guys do now?
You got a tweet that says, "Here comes Pat Ryan rounding third with hundreds of Corona bottle caps stuck to his thighs." What? What? All right. Well, on that bombshell, I think it's time to end the show.
Nope.
Oh, no. Okay.
Not yet, I guess.
Not yet. Chris or Pat needs to have the last laugh here.
Oh, I see.
I'd like to have a little cheers to NASA for getting all the way out to Pluto.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Freaking dope.
I'm excited to see what they... Oh, yeah, no, that's... They're supposed to have some more stuff. No, that was today, I think. Yeah, anyway, I think we're supposed to see some more stuff from them soon, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
What?
NASA making it all the way to Pluto.
Oh, they did today, dude.
Yeah. We're gonna get more pictures here soon. There's like a giant heart on it. It's like, why did you get rid of me as a planet?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that, and I've seen, like, the Disney character's face superimposed everything.
Pluto on Pluto.
Yeah.
That's pretty great. Like steroids and banter, that was great.
That's pretty hilarious.
Good thing I also just ordered all the pine tar and steroids we'll ever need.
Sweet, I start tomorrow. Huge by Saturday.
What's up, B minus?
The B Ryan. B to the Ryan.
But yeah, y'all let me know, and I'll pass along to that, because we got a couple of guys that were volunteering from Stone Circle to come on, and so I'll pass along to them when you want to do it.
Word. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, wait, Stone Circle, you guys should play with us too.
Yeah.
I have to see what they say. I mean, there's like 7 of us. That almost fills out that fills out the team right there.
That gives us some rotation in there.
Yeah.
So I will go to designated hitter so that I can just be.
I can't promise that any of us are actually good at sports. I think a few of us are.
Well, as long as we're better than Holden, and I mean, I don't necessarily mean the team. I mean me and Pat are better than Holden.
Oh, yeah, the rest of the team doesn't matter.
Having the team be better is obviously.
Like, you know, all those stats you just talked about earlier, you're just gonna compare those, and who comes out on top?
According to Holden, he says that Pat said, "Whoa, sir, I do not drink bottled piss. Let's settle this on the diamond, 90-foot bases." And Holden said, "Better be 200-foot bases, or I won't fit on them entirely."
By the way, that's the regulation from home plate to first base, and first base to second base to third base to home. That's 90 feet.
I'm glad you named each of the different possible combinations.
Well, then there's third to second, second to first. You know, I can keep going.
Because that's different from second to third.
Second to first?
No, third to second.
So, all right, I think we need to.
No, I'm just being an asshole.
Go Pirates, go Space Vikings, screw the IGA weenies. Chris, thanks for coming on. We'll have you on again in the future here.
We should roll
Yeah,
out.
it sounds like fun. Hopefully, Jack
after-
will make it next time too.
After we get you your official Space Vikings jersey.
Yeah, you'll get like 7. Need your sizes.
We're designing them right now. We're ordering them right now.
And we're going to need your shoe size to get your cleats, who catches and throws left and right.
I'm going to switch it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get involved. I have to run this by the other guys.
All right. So, yeah.
was that?
That was my speaker.
Oh.
So on that bombshell, it's time for us to end the show.
There you go.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Chris.
There you go.
There you go.
This has been episode 26 of At the Tavern. See you next week.